Tonight, another one-day teacher strike looms for some Toronto high school students.
I feel like we can't even learn anything if every day we're talking about the strike or we're on strike.
Both sides not budging. Now students are wondering what's next. Plus,
building her new life here that was taken away just like that.
We are learning more about a woman found dead in Brampton yesterday, the victim of an apparent murder-suicide. And an Ontario woman's amazing discovery, how Google, a DNA test, and a little luck helped her track down a family she never even knew she had. Good evening, I'm Mike Wise. There is no school tomorrow for high school students in the Toronto District School Board. Teachers are planning another one-day walkout, more limited in scope than last week's province-wide job action. This comes as the province and the union still remain far apart. As Kelda Yoon tells us, some students say they're getting frustrated.
I just feel like as a student, I just want it over with.
Mark Dwyer is in grade 12. He says the job action has no doubt been taking a toll on his studies.
It's really confusing because I'm getting ready for exams, but I feel like we can't even learn anything if every day we're talking about the strike or we're on strike.
Grade 9 student Vikesh Mehta is also feeling the hit.
I'm kind of little tiny bit mad.
For a second week in a row, his extracurriculars will be canceled due to a strike. He's part of his school's technical stage crew.
Now we can't really learn that, and if we have an event, we wouldn't be as prepared.
Both the province and the union remain deadlocked on three main issues: wages, class sizes, and mandatory online courses. Earlier today, Education Minister Stephen Lecce gave a breakdown of what the OSSTF's proposals would cost the province. He says by the third year of their proposal, the cost of living increase would total about $240 million. Canceling plans for class size increases and online courses would be another $275 million. Add in all the other proposals, it would total about $700 million. Lecce says if all education unions get the same contract terms, it would cost taxpayers nearly $3 billion.
That increase has sector-wide impacts. And once one gets it, it is likely or plausible or through the Me Too mechanism that they all get it.
This minister is intent on inflating the number, ratcheting up the rhetoric, which is the opposite of good faith bargain and the opposite of trying to actually get to a deal with us.
There is some glimmer of hope. A tentative agreement was reached today between the province and the Educational Workers Alliance of Ontario, which represents about 6,000 educational workers.
It's, hopefully builds momentum for the parties to get deals that keep kids in class, and that really is the bottom line.
But to begin to do that, both sides must get back to the bargaining table. Meanwhile, the province still needs to reach deals with unions representing elementary teachers and Catholic teachers. Kelda Yoon, CBC News, Toronto.
And here's a full list of all affected school boards. Again, in the GTA, this just affects high school students in the Toronto Public Board. So if your kids go to school in any of the boards in Peel, York, Durham, or Halton, don't let them fool you. Classes there will go ahead as scheduled tomorrow. And the province says it will appeal a court ruling that struck down its directive to make some post-secondary student fees optional. Ontario's Divisional Court sided with student groups last month. That ruling said the government was interfering with the autonomy of colleges and universities. Now, the province is taking that case to the Ontario Court of Appeal. The policy stops schools from charging mandatory fees to fund student unions, campus media, and some clubs, unless the government deems those fees essential, like those fees for campus athletic programs. A 45-year-old man is dead after the car he was driving smashed into the back of a transit bus in Mississauga tonight.
We understand that there were upwards of 25 to 30 passengers on the bus at the time. The driver, or lone occupant of the vehicle, was in obvious signs of trauma.
Now, the man was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the bus was taken to hospital with minor injuries. Police say it's too early to determine why the driver crashed into the bus, which was stopped at the time. Peel's Major Collision Bureau is investigating. And Peel Police still looking into an apparent murder-suicide we first told you about last night. We're learning more about the victim, 27-year-old Sharanjit Kaur, who was found dead along with a man she knew. Both of them were discovered inside his home. Loretta Redikoff spoke to some of her friends today.
Sharonjeet Kaur, known as Sharon to her friends, worked as a web developer. She moved from India less than 4 years ago. They can't believe their shy, sweet friend is gone.
Building her new life here, that was taken away just like that for literally nothing.
The facts from police are horrific. She and a 35-year-old man, Navdeep Singh, both found dead inside this home. He lived in the basement.
The two parties had been in an intimate relationship in the past. The female victim had been reported missing to the Toronto Police Service yesterday morning by a friend.
That friend was Priyanka Patel. Kaur didn't answer her phone all day Sunday. They knew a guy she met at college and had been friends with, but rejected months earlier, was pursuing her.
We found out afterwards he showed up at her house on Friday and waited outside her house for a few hours to talk to her. And I'm not sure what happened after that, but she didn't want to talk to him.
He broke it off in the late spring, early summer, and then he showed up at her door on Friday waiting for her. It was very suspicious.
An organization that deals with domestic violence cases says it's too common.
Many women who experience violence are not coming forward, and their names will not be known because they are suffering in silence. They're experiencing violence in their homes.
These women heartbroken that their friend, just starting her career, won't be able to live out her dreams. They remember her so proud when she became a permanent resident a few months ago.
She was working hard for it, and I think then she finally got that as well, but she didn't stay to enjoy that.
They plan to start a fundraiser for Kaur's family and also to raise awareness about violence against women. Loretta Redikoff, CBC News, Toronto.
We are learning Premier Ford personally intervened to help resolve a months-long ordeal for the family of Laura Babcock. They'd been having difficulty receiving her death certificate until the Premier personally delivered it. Now, Laura Babcock was one of 3 people murdered by Dylan Millard. The 23-year-old disappeared back in 2012, but police never found her body, which kept her family from being able to obtain a death certificate. The coroner requires 2 things to issue that kind of certificate: the cause of death and the manner of death, and neither was possible without a body. Last year, Babcock's family even received a voter card for her in the mail, causing emotional distress. Going forward, the province is now planning amendments to make it easier to register someone as dead when no remains are found. Colette's here with her first look at the forecast, and bundle up. It's going to be cold tomorrow.
Yeah. You know, at this time last night, Mike, it was 10 degrees.
I know.
Yeah. And then the temperature just falling on us. And you're right, it is going to be a cold day for tomorrow. But yeah, we had about 6 hours where the temperature from about 8 p.m. last night to around 2 a.m. where the temperature was there in the double digits. Well, what we're looking at now with these very strong winds, primarily they've been west-northwesterly, but they'll be shifting. So snow squalls, the areas in white are where we have our warnings, and the areas where we're in more of that blue is the watch. But those will likely change to warnings as we see those winds changing direction. And then off of some of these squalls, we get some of the flurries and certainly the cloud cover making their way down into the GTA. So we see that again into Wednesday and even into Thursday afternoon. We may get a little pocket of seeing some precipitation, light snow coming right back through, flurries to light snow. But tonight, -6 for you. The wind's still strong tomorrow, so a significant wind chill even during the day. Tomorrow afternoon, that -4 is going to feel more like -10 to -12, Mike.
Bundle up. Okay, thanks, Colette.
You're welcome.
Well, still ahead tonight, we have an incredible story about finding new family. One woman believed her whole life she was an only child, only to recently find out she actually has 3 sisters and even a brother in the Dominican. How a DNA test, a little luck, and a Google search for her long-lost dad brought them all together. Over the past decade, a woman in Uxbridge has learned she has not one, not two, but three sisters she never knew existed, all of them living here in Ontario. It all started when she made contact with her biological father, who was living in the Dominican Republic. And as our Taylor Simmons found out, there were non-stop surprises all along the way.
I grew up an only child in Scarborough, and I never knew my biological father. One day I Googled my dad's name, and I'd done this several times, but on that particular day, a picture popped up. And there was something about his picture that reminded me of one of my children, and I kept it on my computer all day, and then that night I decided to send him an email. So the next morning I opened my email and I had a response from Larry Cooper. He told me that I was a love child and that he never told his other siblings about me, but told me that I have 3 other siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, but wouldn't tell me their last name because he didn't want them to know. 1 month went by, 2, then about 5 months, and one day I was sitting in my living room and I had this sinking feeling in my heart, and I just thought to myself, I actually said to my husband, maybe the sucker's dead. And I Googled his name and his obituary popped up.
I was looking to find out what happened. He's young, he was only 60, but I left my email address on a forum online, and that must be where Gina found it. And the next thing you know, I got an email from a girl saying, hey, I'm your sister. And then that was all she said.
And you told her about your 2 other siblings.
I did, yeah. So that's when I told her that, yeah, you have another sister as well. And you have a brother too, because I did know about him through Laura. So that was her opportunity to go to the Dominican and meet Laro for the first time. It was exciting.
It was.
He's really sweet.
He's such a sweet
He's so
kid.
sweet, yeah.
And I'm thinking, I can't find out anymore. And for Christmas, my family decided to give me a DNA kit. And then on New Year's Day, I opened the app and it showed me that I had a DNA match and that it was a sibling. So again, I was like, what? This can't be real.
I was just really surprised. I didn't know what to make of it. I think it did take me a couple days to reach out, just to kind of let it all set in. So we all did a test just to confirm kind of that Gina and I were related, because when the test came back and it said that Wendy and I are sisters and also Gina and I.
All 3 of us.
So all 3 of us were connected.
What's it been like bonding together and getting to know each other?
It's been amazing. I'm very thankful for them because they're the people I text all the time and the most. And the ones I would tell my secrets to, I wouldn't tell anyone else to because I don't trust people very well. So I don't know. There's a really neat connection that way. I feel like they have my back.
We have the same hands and feet. Which is kind of strange.
You do compare. You tend to compare.
Well, you look
know?
at those things, yeah.
It's kind of complicated thinking about there's this man who's had an impact on all of your lives. Not the best, but he gave you each other, right?
This was not my father. I had my father who raised me and who I will only ever consider my father. This was something that, I found out, and, the blessing in it was that I got to meet my siblings.
This is not about us having the same dad. It's about us biologically being connected.
Yeah, yes. Finding each other.
And finding each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been amazing. I'm very thankful for them.
This is a very prestigious award, so I'm super happy about it.
Canada's Athlete of the Year, Bianca Andreescu, picked up the Lou Marsh Award today here in Toronto. I'll tell you how she's using her advantage to get others involved in sports after the break.
The weather update is brought to you by Train, the most reliable heating and cooling brand. It's hard to stop a train.
Bianca Andreescu was playing doubles today. Well, kind of. The tennis star made an announcement at Runnymede Collegiate about the Right to Play program. It's an organization that helps underprivileged kids get involved in sports. And while she was there, she also accepted her newly awarded Lou Marsh Trophy. Our Greg Ross was also there.
Bianca, congratulations. Spectacular.
A day after being named Canada's top athlete for 2019, Bianca Andreescu received the trophy that goes along with it.
I had a feeling that I could get a chance to hold this trophy, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen.
While a lot of the attention was focused on Andreescu winning the Lou Marsh Award, the reason she was actually here was to announce that she's going to be an ambassador for Right to Play. And today she got a chance to spend some time with some of the kids here at Runnymede Collegiate who are a part of that program. This was Andreescu's reception when she made a surprise appearance at a school assembly this morning.
It was pretty unbelievable. It was exciting.
Students also got to meet Andreescu, someone many consider to be a role model.
It's very empowering to see a woman win.
It's like inspiring because I'm like just 2 years younger, so like how much I could accomplish if I try.
For her to be getting the best athlete in Canada when she is like a 19-year-old girl is, like Mickey said, extremely empowering.
These grade 12 students are part of the Right to Play Youth to Youth program. They help organize sports-related activities for elementary school kids, and that's exactly what they did today with Andreescu's help.
We had like 5 different activities.
And Bianca helped out.
Yeah, she was joining in on the game. She was having fun with that.
I think it's an amazing organization, and I've always wanted to inspire the youth.
Andreescu says role models are important, and she had hers with her today.
Having amazing parents like mine, they definitely help me stay grounded. I always talk about having good people in your corner. I think that's very important.
Dad's job was to shoot video of the press conference while Mom watched Coco, her family dog, who clearly didn't like being left out.
I have Coco in my corner. That definitely helps.
Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
Carla Kennedy's back with her extended forecast. We've got to settle in for a couple days of some chilly winds.
Yeah, we are talking about those winds being pretty strong through tonight, tomorrow as well. They'll begin to ease up on Thursday morning, but even our sustained winds are strong, so it's not even just the gusts. So we're going to see with this cold Arctic air in place some significant wind chills. Snow squall warnings in place too because those winds strong enough that fetch across the lake. And yeah, we're talking about some of the gusts exceeding 50 kilometers an hour for Wednesday, but there is some good news in here that as we get to the end of the work week, school week, we're going to see the temperature starting to come back up, in fact, rising above seasonal. So in terms of what's happening with some of these squalls that are setting up, we had more of a west to northwesterly flow, but as we go into tomorrow, it turns more back towards the southwest, west to southwest in terms of the direction. So that changes where we see the squalls. That's why some areas that are in watches, it'll shift back to a warning, and some of the warning areas will see things easing up. But 10, 15, even locally, 20 centimeters of snow certainly possible. We get into that reduced visibility. You're driving along and things are fine, and then you drive into one of these and just absolute whiteout can hit you. So you have to be so cautious through here. Then, as we go down towards the shores, the north shores of Lake Ontario and to the west end of the lake, we get the cloud cover certainly because of this activity, but we also can see some of those flurries. So again, mostly on Wednesday. Thursday, it looks like the early part of the day is looking pretty good, but then we get another shot, the system moving through, of where we could see a little bit of light snow or flurry activity coming in for a portion of the afternoon. So that's on Thursday, but otherwise in there, we should see kind of a mix of sun and cloud. Look at those winds kind of all over the place, and then as they get stronger and intensify, they shift back towards the southwest, and some of those gusts, yeah, 30, okay, 40 kilometers an hour, but at times in there, they were up there over 50. So that's something to watch for, especially around the Golden Horseshoe, southern portions there. Overnight tonight in southwestern Ontario, there's a look at your readings, feeling like minus 15. For tomorrow afternoon, it doesn't get all that much better, but hey, at least you have all that sunshine, Windsor, to go around, so it feels a little better. Then Overnight around the GTA, look at these readings, feeling like almost minus 15 for us, a few flurries kind of here and there it is into tomorrow with those highs. This will be the coldest day for this week that we're seeing in terms of our afternoon temperatures anyway. And then as we look ahead, we do get that improvement I was talking about towards the end of the week. So we go from being below seasonal to this time of year, it's under 2 degrees. So 4 is looking pretty good for us, Mike.
I like the flip from -4 to 4.
Yes, I like that too. Right direction.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Colette.
You're welcome.
Can you do the shrimp squat? I know I certainly can't. It's a fitness move, and it's not as easy as a Mississauga woman makes it look. A video of Melissa Capoletti doing the squat has gone viral on social media, inspiring thousands to shoot their own videos, making for some hilarious content. Ali Chasson met the personal trainer at the gym to talk about her newfound fame.
Go to TikTok or any social media platform and type in #FitnessChallenge. Yep, that's her, the top trending video. And boom, she's gone viral. Hundreds of thousands of likes, 6-point-something million views and counting. I am about to meet this Mississauga fitness maven to try that squat out myself. Wish me luck. Okay.
So all you do is you're gonna go down into a half kneeling position.
Okay.
Perfect. Then you're gonna grab your back foot with both hands.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm with you this far.
Yeah. And then all you do from here is lean forward. You wanna drive through the heel of your foot, and then you just stand up.
Okay, you make it look so easy. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I'm stuck. And then 1, 2, 3.
There's a couple things we can do if you can't quite get it.
Okay.
First thing you can do is take one hand away, It acts as a little bit of a counterbalance, helps you get up. Still really tough here though. You're gonna put this underneath your knee.
Okay.
And then now you simply just have less distance to travel, so it makes it easier.
So this is a good option for people who want to work their way up.
Exactly.
Okay. Like me on TV. Wow. Okay. Okay. Arms back. I'm gonna use this little cheat here.
There you go.
1,
and just stand up.
2, 3.
There you go. There you have it. Practice that for a little bit, get a little closer to the floor, and you'll get it.
Cool.
It took a minute to film and post, and I didn't think too much of it, and then yeah, it just took off because people loved it, I guess. And I had like 1 million views before the end of the day that day. The comments are hilarious. I wish I could read them all, like there's too many, but they're so funny. And I think it's so cute watching everyone's attempts, especially like the younger generation, because part of what I do is I work with youth athletes, and I think it's so important to develop like a healthy relationship with fitness at a young age. So I think making fitness fun is really, really important, and these kind of challenges are a great way to do that. Yeah, I got like a few like Instagram DMs of like, oh, this was so hard, I couldn't get it at first, but I kept trying, and like they finally got it, and like that's super rewarding because I know how it feels, because I do the same thing. I'm always trying to learn new skills, and when you finally get it, it's like the best feeling.
Tell me about this branding opportunity that someone saw.
Oh yeah, so I keep getting tagged in all of these videos of people recreating it, and someone was like, oh, if you can't do this trending challenge, buy our yoga blocks and you'll be able to do it.
You should probably get a cut.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, do I get a percentage of these sales using my likeness?
I'm inspired.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about my job.
Yeah?
1000%, yeah.
When I popped off, then you go get
A lot of people inspired around the newsroom to try it. I'm not even trying. I know I just cannot pull that off. Well, tomorrow on Q, Leah Michelle joins Tom Power. She made her name on the TV show Glee and has a long career on Broadway. Now she's penned a love letter to the Big Apple, and it's on her new Christmas album. You can hear her talk about that tomorrow at 10 on CBC Radio 1. I'll see you back here tomorrow night at 11. Good night.